in 2026, when you wake up as an SEO, you might not ask yourself the first question, how is my rank today? How do I rank? But more, am I a part of the AI generated answer? And because of that, you need to adapt and combine both classic traditional metrics with the new metrics that track the AI visibility. I'm Marta Szmidt, and this is SEO in 2026.
Marta, what's your number one SEO tip for 2026?
My number one tip is that we need to add new metrics for measuring SEO success. We need to face the reality that the search changed. It's not longer the same search engines, the traditional one that we know. And we need to adapt as SEOs to the reality. And this means we need to combine the classic traditional SEO metrics with the new ones that target AI search visibility.
Okay, so how would you summarize the metrics that aren't relevant anymore? The metrics that maybe used to be worthwhile looking at 5 years ago, compared with the metrics that are new and metrics that we have to focus on in 2026?
I mean, there is a big shift in the metrics, like, for example, clicks, organic traffic, or click-through rate, because those metrics are a bit hit by what is happening with the shift in search behavior. So I think those are less relevant. They're not going to show us the picture anymore the same way like they used to, because we see a big race in zero clicks search results, right? So people find the answer very quickly now with AI tools. And even if we appear in AI overview, it doesn't mean that the user will click to us, right? This shift means that we see drop in clicks, we see drop in organic traffic. And in the same way, the rankings are not going to show us the whole picture, because we do have a lot of people now, over 36% in US. People are using AI for search, and this is not going to change in the future, right? So I think we need to adapt. It doesn't mean that the normal traditional search and the engagement metrics, for example, or conversion are going to disappear as a metric, right? But we need to adapt and find the metrics that are relevant now for us, for the AI search.
So you're talking about visibility. I mean, I remember using visibility 10, 15 years ago, working for an agency and actually talking about how visible you are in the SERP and the likely click-through rate from that. But obviously with AI search engines, we can't necessarily give a client a likely click-through rate. So how satisfied are clients with visibility, and can you actually tie that back to any metric that actually results in a measurable impact?
That's a very good question. Yeah, the AI visibility we can measure with different tools. The problem is the price. So this is my second prediction as well, connected to the first one. The secondary one is that it's going to be a standard, in my opinion, by 2026, that we will have tools that are not going to be as expensive as, I don't want to mention the big names, but the big tools are very expensive now if we want to see the visibility of AI search, right? Like you need to put at least €6,500 on top of what you are paying. In my opinion, there are going to be smaller tools that are going to adapt very quickly and are going to show us the visibility for normal price. It's going to be a standard, it's going to be included. I don't think it's very easy to see the visibility, the whole visibility now. There are a few metrics that you can add, like, for example, in Google Analytics 4 is the referral traffic. So you can see as well there, when filtered by source in referral traffic, that, how much traffic is actually coming as a referral from AI tools. And you will even see which AI tools are driving this traffic. So another metric would be the AI overview impressions, like how often your site appears in AI overviews by Google. This is something you can track either manually, or SE Rankings is a very good tracking tool for it. It's a bit cheaper as well. And the same with citations, which are probably one of the most now for measuring the visibility. And some tools, like more advanced, like advanced web ranking, are showing as well the market share of AI visibility. So I think this is like the percentage of AI-driven results that your site is appearing versus the competitors. And this is probably the biggest like umbrella term for the AI visibility to measure. If you combine this with the traditional classic rankings like metrics like rankings or organic traffic, engagement and conversion, I think then you will have a good picture of how your site is ranking.
Okay. I guess there's a big challenge though between your website, your brand being mentioned as part of an AI citation, as part of AI mode in Google, as on ChatGPT, and actually being able to measure the impact that that has on whether or not you actually make a sale. Do you suggest different ways to draw those different elements together so that you can actually measure the impact that that increased brand presence has on whatever goal, whatever metric you're trying to measure that results in success in your website? Or do you simply have to accept that nowadays consumers are going to find out about you on AI search engines and you're going to have to just allocate a certain number, a guesstimate percentage of those people that will end up buying from you, and estimate the impact that brand appearance has on ultimate success?
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. Certain metrics like the zero-click visibility that you mentioned, even if your content is showing in the search result generated by large language models, it doesn't mean that the user will convert, right? It's maybe not gonna click at all. So this is the zero-click visibility, can still give you indirectly brand visibility and, authority. The same with AI overviews. There's no guarantee that the user will convert or AI citations, but one metric that for sure will show you if there is conversion and how is even the engagement is what I mentioned before. It's the Google Analytics 4. And in fact, you can see that very often, I didn't notice on my website, but very often the traffic coming from AI-driven search results brings more engagement and conversion. So you can measure this directly as well with the referral traffic from AI search. But yeah, the rest, again, it's like more supporting indirectly, the conversion as well, the rest of the metrics.
And I think you mentioned that something like 38% of searchers in America are using an AI search engine.
36 by 2028. Yes.
Okay, 36 by 2028. Got you. Okay, so it's not at the moment, but it's forecast to increase rapidly. That's just in America. Is it forecast to increase just as much in different countries? And also, what is the impact of different types of businesses? Do certain types of businesses receive even more traffic through AI?
I don't have the breakdown per country and per business. I can just assume that it's gonna affect more the informational queries what we are observing anyway. And I just know from what we are observing that the AI overviews in general are growing from one day to another. Like just a few months ago, I could see searching for anything on Google, I was getting still the blue traditional links. Now it's just the feeling I have now covered with data as well that it's getting more and more, but I don't have the data per country or per business.
Okay, but essentially it's very, very important, but still not forecast to be the majority of searching in the next few years. So obviously that means that the majority of search is still going to come through traditional Google then over the next couple of years, from your perspective.
Yeah, I think so. And in fact, there are some studies, recent studies that are saying that, yes, people are using more AI tools, but those people are also engaging more with Google. So it's funny that the AI search also drives the users to Google more, apparently. So I don't think that Google and the traditional search is not going to matter at all. But even Google is now using a large language model for, AI mode and for AI overviews. So we will have both, and it's good to blend the traditional classic SEO metrics, as I mentioned, the conversion, the engagement as well, and organic traffic and rankings with the new metrics. And I think the future, like 2026, my hope is that everyone can afford that. We don't need to ask for €7,000 extra budget, but it's a standard. And in fact, even the AI overview impressions are included in Google Search Console, right? We cannot filter. So my other prediction for 2026, we're going to be able to filter. Maybe Google will help us with that. And we are going to be able to filter in Google Search Console the impressions that are actually coming from AI overview.
Interesting. Okay. And you also mentioned that people search on AI search engine and then go to Google. So it's not the other way around. It tends to be they initiate their query, their conversation on AI, on ChatGPT or whatever AI you're talking about there. And then after that, they go to Google and then hone down their decision.
Maybe more they go directly after that, but the usage of Google as a search tool and it's not dropping down with AI search, right?
Okay. So potentially it could be the other way around. Potentially it could be people starting on Google and then going to ChatGPT.
Or maybe they compare the responses and search on both at the same time.
Can you see all age ranges interacting with AI, or do you think that this is going to be maybe like TikTok, where it skews to maybe a younger age group?
I don't think it's going to affect younger age groups. I think everyone it's like COVID, everyone will get it at some point, right? So I think it's gonna affect everyone independently of the age.
Got you. Okay. And so what metrics do you not pay attention to anymore? What metrics used to be important but aren't important anymore?
As I mentioned, clicks are not gonna give us the same picture because they are down. They are down because of the race of zero clicks visibility in search driven by large language models. Click-through rate, like across all the websites I'm taking care of, it's gonna be down. Like I see it dropped already over the last few months. As well, the rankings alone are not gonna give us the whole picture. So I'm still paying attention, the same with organic traffic. So I think it's more important to explain to the business owners, to the people you report to as an SEO, why there's a drop in organic traffic. Because sometimes, not always, it's not reflected just by checking the rankings. We need to see, oh, maybe now we're actually visible more in the AI searches. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's your perspective on what metrics matter more in 2026. But obviously, you need to optimize your website in order to appear in these search results. So what are one or two elements that you would recommend incorporating within your content to make it more likely to appear in these AI search results?
For sure, the content has to be structured for better for AI, which means like very clear hierarchy of the content is now important more than ever. But if I'm honest, like even adding the structured data and adding, like more studies and more resources, it's nothing new. So I don't think we need to completely change. I think all the strategies that they were related to it, right, are still relevant, maybe now more than ever. But everything that happens outside the content, like brand mentions, for example, the sentiment, how people talk about you, and everything surrounded matters most.
Marta, what's the key takeaway from the tip you shared today?
The key takeaway is for today, in 2026, when you wake up as an SEO, you might not ask yourself the first question, how is my rank today? How do I rank? But more, am I a part of the AI generated answer? And because of that, you need to adapt and combine both classic traditional metrics with the new metrics that track the AI visibility.
Marta Szmidt is an SEO consultant at SEO by Marta. Find out more over at seobymarta.com. Marta, thanks so much for being part of SEO in 2026.
Thank you for inviting me.
I've been your host, David Bain. Get your copy of SEO in 2026, the book, over at seoin2026.com.